Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Joshua Fekes Quest. I'm here with Alex Mad Magical Wielden. We are going to get set up for game number 2 in this best of 3 series between Cyber Fraser University, I said it right, versus University of California, Irvine. Game number 1 went heavily in SFU's favor. This next game, again, both these teams are 5-0, so it's not like they're not out of the playoffs. They're both guaranteed in the playoffs, yes. But seeding is very important going into these championship playoffs.
Plus, this is a massive statement from Simon Fraser. They have yet to lose a single game in college LOL, and this includes series. Not one game have they dropped. So, having now taken down UCI, who is the other team in the Western Conference to be doing the exact same, shows how powerful this team is. And even though a lot of people were talking about UCI, saying, this is the team to look out for in the Western Conference. This is the team that you have to fear is going to be able to take everybody by storm. Simon Fraser taking game 1 shows right here and right now why they were able to upset last year and possibly why they're going to be able to upset this year.
Yeah, showing why they're the champions of their conference home last year for sure. And they just completely dominated UCI, which I was not expecting. And you have to wonder how much is really being put forth as far as effort. And like I said, seeding is very important, but also hiding your strategy. So I don't want to count UCI out of that tournament whatsoever, out of the playoffs whatsoever, based on this game. Yeah, there's still a lot to be seen here that I don't feel like both teams are really putting forth at the moment. But right now, whatever is being put forth, SFU, they seem to have it working for them a little bit better.
Plus, you always got to imagine whenever you have a new patch, 8.4 just came out 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So these teams aren't well practiced on it. UCI might be a little bit more shooken up about how everything has changed. They're not quite as comfortable yet. While Simon Fraser, maybe this is their patch. This is the one that really utilizes how they like to play.
Yeah, and these sorts of things are very, very valid because they also determine if I take a break from solo queue, which is happening right now because sometimes things just hurt. But we do.
More fiddlesticks.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. But we are getting into the pick and ban phase. We are seeing those reactive bans already. Talia being taken away from Tickmith. Vladimir wasn't in the game last game, but still going to be taken off here. Galio as well being taken away by Simon Fraser.
See, I'm actually liking this from UCI. I don't want to see too many jungle bans. Leave open the Sejuani and the Zac. They're not nearly as powerful as they used to be. This isn't 8.3 anymore. Even though you've done your research, you know that First Night likes to play these, you need to take away the power picks, the Camille's, Talia even. Skarner, I like that pick. That was one of the few jungle bans that I would accept seeing.
Yeah, especially with how much he's been played, how powerful he is right now. This is just his patch right now. Like you said in the beginning of game number 1, lack of Tracker's Knife, lack of vision, which means he can get those ganks off from his Impale a lot easier when you couple that with Predator. Really do like that. Azir being taken away as well, and that is not going to be played by Desperton or Tickmith as it is banned away by Simon Fraser. Let's see what UCI decide to ban out as their last ban, and then we can get into the pick phase. That's where the excitement really begins because I want to see how UCI react to their game number 1.
It should be Camille here. If it's not Camille, I'm going to imagine that it's going to be an instant lock-in from Gold Jet. You take something this powerful. You need to make sure that you're getting yourself ahead. But whoa, that is not something that I would agree with. But at the same time, I don't necessarily hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I haven't actually seen the rise on this patch yet, but Luden's Echo would more than likely, at least for I think, would be a pretty good option for him as far as items go. It does help his wave clear. Already had pretty good wave clear, so I really don't think...
even just that. It's the Zerf's Embrace. That got buffed. The Archangel Staff is right. A lot stronger. It's actually much more of a first item pick now than it used to be. So this actually does make Rise a little bit more powerful. I don't agree with it being a first pick. I think you should have waited. You should have gone for the Camille and then gone for the Rise. But at the same time, I understand the idea behind Simon Fraser. What they want to go for is they want to make it so that they have this Rise who normally used to have to wait until like the 25-30 minute mark to really be powerful. But with that Archangel Staff being a lot much stronger, he is much more early game.
Yeah, we're going to see how that one works out. That may have also, I mean, yeah, you might want to try out Rise. Like I said, both teams, they have some leeway to actually experiment here with high-level play against each other. They're going to be meeting each other eventually, or at least be in the same bracket during playoffs. Again, this is for seeding, but it is good to just try those things out here because you can get a lot better results than you would in solo queue, that is for sure. And that may have also been more of a bait pick, picking up Rise, knowing that Camille is up. May have wanted to give Camille over and be ready for it. They do lock in that Gnar and the Zac as well, so that is going to be some pretty big engage on Simon Fraser.
Yeah, but Nar doesn't do so well into Camille, and this is Captain Nuke on Camille. He is loving these carry-type, bruiser-type top laners. That's why I wasn't too happy to see him on Sion. He likes to play aggressive. He wants to go into the face of someone. He wants to try to see if he can get the solo kills consistently. So, honestly, I think that Fiora that they were hovering would have been a far better pick than Nar.
Yeah, and we're going to see what they decide to ban out here, because we are into the second ban phase, as Kassadin is locked in for Descretin. He has, I know in solo queue I've been seeing him a lot more recently. This is the first time I've seen him in collegiate play this season, so I'm very anxious to see how he does on UCI.
It's a similar kind of thought process to why Rise is going to be really powerful. The Seraph's Embrace, the Archangel Staff, a lot stronger. The increased cooldown you get a total of 20% once you complete that item, plus you keep scaling it up as the game goes on. So Descretin is going to have that stronger mid-game presence once he's completed that item. The problem, though, is TechMyth on a Rise is going to easily be able to zone him out as long as he's playing aggressive and not letting Descretin try to zone him away.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. We do see that is a Varus being banned away, as well as a Jax. Surprised to see Jax banned away. I mean, it must be a targeted ban against Young Bin, but we'll see.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that it has to be. I mean, yeah, you broadcasted 2. This is the 3rd UCI game, isn't it?
Yes, it is. My 3rd series with UCI, and Jax has been something that a lot of junglers have actually been going for, not only because he's a pretty decent tank, because people go for the full tank build, but with that build, you still have a lot of damage from your ultimate. You get that 3rd proc passive that consistently does a lot of damage. Plus, he's really good at going for easy engage. All he has to do is jump with the Counter-Strike, and he can lock down 4 or 5 members if they're all grouped up.
Right, and we're going to see what happens here. Is we do have Ezreal banned away from Pneumatic. That's not going to be on the cards this time, or in the cards this time, on the table this time, I guess you could call it that. I'm getting my metaphors mixed up here. I'm just gonna stop that one. Alistar also banned away, so they're going to take away that disengage that does plague a Zac pretty heavily, along with a Gnar. Once they launch themselves in, have an Alistar right there, just headbutt him back out. And with first pick, they want to take that one away and give Jarvan over to Young Bin.
So if this is the Jarvan I think it's going to be, it's not going to be a tank Jarvan. Young Bin's played this before and gone full damage. Probably going to go for press the attack with the Warrior's Enchantment, Black Cleaver. He's going to be very aggressive.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see that one. We do have the romantic duo in the bot side with Xayah and Rakan, Pneumatic and JL, respectively. And looks like UCI are going to round out their bot side with a Braum. So I have a little bit of a front line there, especially if that Jarvan does go straight up damage. They will have a little bit of protection for Caitlyn, because so far they're missing that, because Camille and Jarvan, Kassadin, they are outright divers.
Exactly, and this is why you have to go for the Braum. I would have actually preferred to have seen something more akin to the Thresh or Janna to try to disengage from Frozen Knight when he tries to go for the jumps into the backline. He wants to go onto Latman, because Descretin's obviously going to be going for Pneumatic or on a TechMyth consistently alongside of Captain Nuke and Young Bin. But you need someone who's a little bit tankier, someone who can kite a little bit better for Latman so he's not bursted out completely by Rise or Xayah.
Yeah, and you want to, especially when you have that sort of, that sort of comp, whenever you can burst out champions like that, you want to be able to not do that as much as possible. Speaking of Rise, though, I do want to touch on, so we were talking about a little bit of the items. Another one on him, Spellbinder. That is a new item. Maybe seeing that one, because it does. I mean, it charges up as you spam spells. Mm-hmm. That is a logical item on Rise. Yeah, he does spam quite a bit.
It's a logical item for Rise and Kassadin, because both of them like to spam out their abilities, but it's also great for countering someone, because it's not just your own spells, but it's enemy and allied spells as well, if I recall. So, as they're both dishing out a lot of this DPS, trying to be the one to pressure the other, they're going to consistently stack each other's up and make it so that they can go aggressive. And the Kassadin, he already has that built into his kit. Whenever any sort of spell is used around him, he gains stacks on his E. So he has a little bit more damage. Is it E or W? I think no, it's W, sorry. It's just W that he gets, so that he's going to be able to go for a Lichbane proc if he does build that, probably second item.
Yeah, and it does give more movement speed too, which you said it's good on Kassadin. It's also good on Rise. Rise does love his movement speed item, so that is going to help him get in the face of whoever he needs to, chase down whoever he needs to a little bit easier. Interesting comps though. We have diving on both sides. Rakan can protect Xayah. Xayah can protect Xayah by herself with her ultimate as well. So these are going to be some really rough team fights, and I'm really anxious to see how these turn out.
Well, it's going to be rough for UCI. because they don't have the best of disengage. Sure, you have Braum who can disengage a little bit, but they are full balls to the walls. We are going to dive you, and we're going to try to get a kills. While for Simon Fraser, they have more tools to disengage. Let's Bounce coming in from Frozen Knight can easily get rid of people. You can use the quickness coming in from JL so that he can get everyone charmed up, and then his team dodges away. Like you said, Xayah, she can easily self-peel. Ryze can do a little bit of that as well with the Realm Warp. So they have better tools to disengage, but this all comes down to with how the meta is right now. It's much more built around trying to snowball. So UCI, they've realized that they want to play a far stronger early game. They don't want to have Youngbin going behind Frozen Knight early into the game like he did before. We saw the impact that Volibear then had because he wasn't able to get those early ganks that he needed. So this time, the Jarvan, who's also an early game ganker, wants to see if he can get a little bit more pressure, a little bit more for his team so that he can get Desperate in, get Captain Nuke, maybe even get Latman ahead quickly into the game so that when they get to the team fights, they're at the better foot and they're the ones who are going to consistently dive.
Yeah, and that's especially if Youngbin does go that full damage Jarvan, because a full damage Jarvan who is not setting himself ahead is not a good Jarvan whatsoever. But as we talk about that, as we load into the game, my name is Joshua Fekes Quest. I'm here with Alex Mad Magical Wielden. Gonna get into game pretty soon. Want to give a shout out to our social medias here. Type the exclamation point Discord in our chat to get the Discord link and join our community. Also join our Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter at CStarLeague or CSLLOL if you just want collegiate League of Legends material, content, things like that. You can also follow our Facebook at facebook.com/CStarLeague. And if you don't use it, even if people don't use it, we still have to hawk it here. So that is that. But yeah, you can also follow go to our YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube, because that is where our VODs are. You miss a match, you want to go see it, you want to study a team, go to our VODs on our YouTube. They're right there. You can also check out our talk shows, Quad, Ward Up, things of the sort. They're all on our YouTube, youtube.com/user/CStarLeague. Also want to give a shout out to Twitch. They have been here from the beginning. We wouldn't be here without them. Largest streaming platform in North America. Very helpful for us, and we hope to continue that partnership for eternity. And you can go follow them on Twitter at twitter.com/Twitch and Facebook at facebook.com/Twitch. We're getting into game though. This is going to be interesting. This is game number 2 in the best of 3. UCI, they are down 1. You're going to see that scored in just a moment. And SFU absolutely dominated game number 1. Maybe a different story this time around though.
We'll have to keep our eyes, especially on Youngbin. So he is going to go for that damage Jarvan that I expected, because he's got the press of the attack. You don't go press the attack and then be like, I'm going to go for a tank build on Jarvan now. No, he's definitely going to go for that full damage build. Going to get the warriors probably first. Not too surprising there, but something that is surprising me is to see 2 unsealed spellbooks on the side of Simon Fraser. This is a keystone that really fell off after the nerfs, taking from 25% cooldown reduction on your summoners down to a mere, I think, 15%.
Yeah, it's 15, still helpful, but yeah, there have been.
Oh, no.
What's up?
I'm sorry, but Pneumatic forgot to buy items.
Oh no.
He did. I just looked down and I'm like, wait a minute. Oh no. Oh no.
Surely he knows that.
I hope so.
Right?
You really do hope so. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just looked down, I see that, I'm like, oh no.
No, you're fine. I thought your PC crashed. I thought something crashed. I was like, oh god. No. Not again. Not for
no,
me.
even worse.
That happened to me. Yeah. All right. Well, he is going to have 500 gold in his pocket, so when he goes back, he can go back early and pick up a big item early. Let's look at the advantage of this. I don't want to consider this a BM. I hope it's just a.
I think it's a forgetfulness. I think he was paying attention. They had a strategy in mind. They wanted to get control. He went down and still hasn't realized he hasn't bought items yet.
Yeah, he's, well, their damage is going to be very limited in that bot side, that is for sure. But then again, so is Latman. Latman, he started a Doran shield, so he's not going to have the outright damage either. Now, with that being said, he does have the sustain and the health from the shield, not to mention the health pot. That is something that Pneumatic is going to be lacking. We're going to see how that turns out as Bloodwater takes a little bit of damage, gets knocked up, but still, you wonder how long that can actually happen with no items on your ADC.
Well, one thing for sure, Latman's going to be able to easily heal up pretty well from the Doran shield. You see Pneumatic and JL, they can't fight this anymore.
There's a flash already from JL. Pneumatic, he is going to be poked down, as well as the Piltover Peacemaker, just missing, so going to be saving himself on that round, but still, at 2.5 minutes, already a flash down on the bot side.
Yeah, flash down, bot side, JL. He'll probably have that up pretty quick. The unsealed spellbook, even though it's only 15%, is still better than not having it at all, so he's not too threatened. but the whole lane has been completely sacrificed to UCI.
Yeah, and there's a young Ben actually getting aggressed on by Frozen Knight in the jungle. Has to blow his own flash in his own side of the jungle. So Tickmith is there to back him up. Deskerton doesn't really have the power. He's actually shoved in. We saw this in game number 1. This is just something that SFU is very good at. Young Ben going back in. He has the red buff on him. He's going to get knocked up. He's going to get first blooded. Why did he go back in? Deskerton now, he's in trouble. But Tickmith, he's taking turret shots. What is happening? Deskerton.
I don't know. This is crazy.
Oh, he's going back in. He's actually going to flash in this time around. So there must be something going on. Frozen Knight, he picks up another kill. Well, all right. It is what it is, bruh.
I'm baffled. I'm baffled by that one. My analysis on that one is purely the fact that Young Ben thought he had better damage. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would make that kind of play, but that's just because I'm extremely greedy. But I don't know if you do that in a competitive style of game.
Yeah, that is interesting, but be it as it may, that is 2 kills going over to Frozen Knight, 2 overall onto Simon Fraser. And Young Ben, he lost his buffs. That means that he's going to have a hard time ganking. That might not stop him, though. He is making his way into the top side. Goldjet, he is overextended. He is going to gnaw out in just a moment, but is it going to be enough time? He doesn't have a ward here. He is actually very exposed. They may wait for him to gnaw out and possibly go back to mini gnar. Gonna see what happens here. He gnars out. They're actually gonna get engaged right now, knowing that he can't jump away with his little form. And now in the mid lane, hold on, it goes back to the top lane. There's a flash actually from Captain Nuke. They're gonna pick up Gold Jet. This is the same thing that happened last time where Young Ben camped the top lane a little bit earlier this time, but still, a kill's a kill. And that one going over to Captain Nuke.
And that's the person you want to receive it as well. It's gonna be Captain Nuke on this Camille. Mentioned before, game 1. Goldjet, he was getting camped, but he was on Camille. So as long as he starts getting items, he's going to be a threat. But when you give a Camille some kills, she is going to be even more of a threat. She's going to continue to win this lane. Probably not going to even need to have Young Ben come back into the top side. Probably will be able to 2v1 once she gets her Triforce built.
Yeah, the Triforce is the big power spike for a Camille, so that is something that any Camille player is looking for, and that is going to be what Captain Nuke is already working toward. Has the Sheen coming back, so his auto attacks are already going to be empowered, and he's going to go in and abuse it. Goldjet, he's already going to be taken down a little bit on the damage side as you see that shield coming up from Captain Nuke. But yeah, Young Ben, he's back on the top side. He wants some Goldjet here for himself. Who's going to pick up the kill? This is going to be Goldjet going down, and Captain Nuke picking up that kill. Snowball is getting bigger.
Second kill for Captain Nuke. At this point, UCI, they gotta be really happy because Frozen Knight was the one who got the 2 kills before with that weird play from UCI in the jungle. But now that Captain Nuke has 2 kills, it's far better to have a Bruiser have some kills than your tank. If anything, you would have wanted Tekmith to be the recipient of some of those kills and not your Zac.
Yeah, Tickmith, he did get that 1 assist, so he got a little bit of gold from that one. But yeah, Frozen Knight, he is the tank. He does have the gold. That is going to help him, with the levels a little bit easier, a little bit faster. You can see he's already level 5, although actually I didn't see who picked up the Gromp there. But
Young Ben got that one.
Young Ben got that one. He is actually pretty close in farm despite that early loss, early death, and ganking on the top side. So he's doing a good job in his own right. But he's still a level behind, probably about a half a level. But Frozen Knight, he's going to hit that level 6 mark a little bit faster. But it shouldn't really matter with the Zac. Should be ganking a little bit sooner, considering you have a slingshot to work with here.
Yeah, but the bigger thing is who's winning in mid lane. Tekmith getting such a massive lead on Deskerton this early into the game is devastating for that Caston, because both of them are going to be very strong once they get that Archangel stat, but it's going to be about who gets what first, because gotta imagine, once Tekmith gets it, he's going to consistently shove in Deskerton, never let him have an ability to roam, go onto the other side of the map, and pretty much make this Caston pick useless.
Yeah, so far, 12 CS up right now in favor of Tickmith. He's trying to keep that in his favor as well. Let's not forget Realm Warp is here. One of the reasons why we haven't seen a... hold on. Oh, no. Not going to happen from jail. One of the reasons we haven't seen a Rise as much in the meta is because the Realm Warp Zhonya's combination got nerfed. Not able to do that anymore. It was a kind of a get out of jail free card that a lot of Rises abused. Not going to be able to do that. And ever since then, we haven't seen as many Rises. But still going to pick them up this time around, seeing that their new items are in the meta, seeing how those worked out with Rise. Tickmith, I do have faith in him. Had a great Tilia game number 1. Went didn't actually went deathless in that one. So let's see if he can do that again this time around. Does have his teleport up. His realm warp is up as well. And it looks like there's some pinging going on as Young Ben is invading Frozen Knight's jungle.
Yeah, but Frozen Knight and Techmith both stole away the blue buff already, so they're going to probably try to look for a fight, try to see if they can bait in Descritin.
Yeah, Descritin, he's going to have to get out of harm's way. Young Ben did pick up the blue buff. Goldjet is here now, too. Cataclysm is going to lock them in, but he's actually going to get out with the Flag and Drag. Realm Warp coming in. That's the use of the Realm Warp, and that is a kill. Frozen Knight picking up that one once again. Still going to the tank, but once again, a kill's a kill.
Kills a kill, putting Young Ben behind. He used the Cataclysm, so I don't even know if that was the right choice. Sure, he wanted to survive, but this makes it Captain Nuke's easy.
Yeah, Captain Nuke, he is going down, and that is Tickmith this time. Carry picking up the kill. Teleport immediately to the mid lane. Tickmith loses no step in his stride whatsoever.
Plus, getting the shutdown gold onto Captain Nuke is massive for Techmith. Look at this!
Oh, he's now going to just go right in onto Descritin. Descritin can Rift Walk away, and that's exactly what he has to do. Very low on mana. This time it's not a glitch. I actually saw the bar underneath the champion. So, yeah, this time Descritin, he does have teleport, needs to go back as well. And with Tickmith there aggressing into your face, that's exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah, but everything's falling apart for UCI. They needed to have the early game pressure. They had that for Captain Nuke, getting himself a kill, 2 kills early on into the game. Massive win for them. But at the same time, they got to keep that pressure going. They can't start giving advantages over to Techmith, over to Gold Knight, Jet, or Frozen Knight.
No, they need to get kills onto Tickmith. Pneumatic especially, but no, there's been no action on the bot side here. Actually, we do see Frozen Knight launching himself into the top side. Not going to be able to hit Captain Nuke. And now Captain Nuke may be looking to get a little bit of damage on, but he's going to back off seeing that Frozen Knight was still there. By the way, Pneumatic did go back, picked up BF Sword to call.
Hey!
And a Doran's. So I think that was just a mistake because he got the starting item anyways.
See, when his first back that he had, he got the Doran Shield and the call. So it definitely was a mistake, but now a dive attempt.
Yeah, there is going to be 4 members of UCI in the bot side. Pneumatic does not have... No, Pneumatic does have his ult, but it's actually stopped. Descritin canceled his ult, his teleport, and now Young Ben just walking away. A lot of time wasted, and now a summoner down, a teleport down for Descritin.
Yeah, but they also did get this teleport out of Techmith. He was looking for that too, but it's a better cooldown for him because he has the unsealed spellbook, obviously.
I think he actually used that from the top lane, didn't he? Is that still on?
Realm Warp.
Realm Warp. Yeah, very good. So yeah, there's still questionable play though by UCI. It looked like they were going to go on for something, didn't quite commit to it. There's a Realm Warp in the top side. Speaking of that, and now Captain Nuke, he's going to bring back Frozen Knight going to bring back Captain Nuke with the Let's Bounce. Who's going to pick up the kill? Don't want to give it to Frozen Knight, but they will secure it if they have to. Goldjet picking up that one overall now in the mid lane. UCI trying to take advantage. 3 men on this mid lane turret.
They should, for the side of Simon Fraser, they should have just turned towards the top tower. They should have tried to see if they can get this first brick gold. I mean, they're going to get it regardless, but might as well go for the race instead of try to go for the kills.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to just back off on the mid lane turret. UCI, they saw that Frozen Knight and Tickmith making their way down to the bot side, or the middle, I should say, again. But yeah, they're still going to pick up a tower on the top side. They could have picked up it a lot faster if they helped out Goldjet, but they're still going to get it regardless. Captain Nuke just now making his way back to the top lane. Doesn't have that teleport to work with, so this is going to be first turret gold going over to Simon Fraser University.
Getting themselves a sizable lead early into the game again. Picking that up to 2,000 is really nice for them. Sure, they kind of fell behind for Latman and the Pneumatic in the bot lane, but they don't have to worry too much because they're ahead for Techmith. They're ahead for Goldjet now, as if you look at the gold, he's up at only about 400, but still, that's better than what it was before where the 2 kills went early on to Captain Nuke.
Yeah, very much so. And yeah, having a 2-0 Captain Nuke Camille is very scary. So props to SFU for shutting that one down immediately. Now at 2-2, doesn't have the Triforce completed yet. It has the Phage and the Sheen. So just going to slow that snowball down, melt it down a little bit, try to get some ground underneath their feet here, as we see Tickmith has a 1-0-3 now. Actually, already has his Abyssal Mask completed. I believe that one is already has that one complete, along with the tier stacking up. So onto a good path into this mid game already is Tickmith.
Surprised that he went for the Abyssal Mask, personally. I think going for the Archangel Staff would have been a little bit better. Get a little bit more cooldown reduction so that you can try to spit out that rapid fire really early into the game. The Abyssal Mask, well, I understand it's a nice respect towards Deskerton. You put him behind pretty well. You need to make sure that you're continuing that. Try to go for these kills. Try to be aggressive instead of getting yourself into a bad, disadvantageous way.
There's a flash and a taunt ult from JL, able to lock down Youngbin pretty easily. And that kill, once again, going over to Tickmith. Now it's 6-2 SFU. They are starting to run away with this one.
And Youngbin, he abandoned his idea of going for that carry build. Even though he has the press the attack, going for that Cinder Hulk, trying to give himself a little bit tanky stats is actually, it's wonky at best. It has counter synergy when you're trying to go for this aggression, and you're not tanky enough. You're gonna go down really quickly like you did just there.
Yeah, and that was a lot used to put him down. Even if he did go tanky, probably would have still taken him down. But yeah, still, it's an interesting position for Youngbin because, like we said, if you're going at full damage, Jarvan, you can't die. He's died 3 times thus far, 2 before that one. So he is in a very sticky situation. Has to decide what he needs to do in life, and that's gonna be a tough Jarvan to work with in come this mid game because he's already pretty far behind Frozen Knight right now. He's a whole level down. Dragon was taken up as a result of that kill. That's the Cloud Drake going over to SFU, and I believe a tower. No, not a tower. There was tower being pressured, but not completely taken. Gold Jet just staying on this top side and pressuring Captain Nuke.
At this point, SFU, they don't need to take any towers just yet. They want to make sure that they're maintaining control of the map, put down the wards. They've kind of lost it in the bot side, but luckily for them, Frozen Knight's in the area, so even if UCI try to utilize that advantage, it's going to be detrimental for them.
Yeah, Frozen Knight looking for an opportunity, seeing if Latman or Bloodwater overstep just a little bit, but it looks like Youngbin is making his way to the bot side as well. I don't know if he was spotted out by SFU, but either way, Frozen Knight, he's in position, he's going to launch, and there is a big kill onto Latman. That is the damage down, teleport coming in, and that is actually all 5 members of SFU going to join the bot side. Deskerton not in a happy position in life, goes down 2 for 0 on that bot side for SFU, and that is going to be their second turret of the game. Frozen Knight maybe looking for another kill, actually. I don't think it's necessary. Just take the turret and walk away.
Frozen Knight just zoning them away, and it's easy play coming in from SFU. They, like I said, they had Frozen Knight in the bot side. They were using that more for a counter gank than anything, but then they're like, oh wait, we see Deskerton, he's gone back mid. We even had a little bit of vision on Youngbin when he tried to go into the jungle. We can go for this quickly, and JL with Frozen Knight right on his back completely outclassed Latman in that one.
The Simon Fraser team, they are just working so well together right now. Being able to coordinate these teleports, even the Realm Warp from Tickmith, a lot more to micromanage now that he has that Realm Warp to work with. But doing it so well, coordinating so well with his team, results in both a top and a bot lane kill tower right now, and some kills in the bottom top lane. Why not throw that in there too? And a lot of damage on a nuke, Captain Nuke, I should say, has to back up. Gonna go back, maybe finish up the Triforce. He does have a 1600 in his pocket. I believe that is enough to finish up that Triforce. Get that nice power spike by Camille, and there it is, Triforce, and maybe look to turn around this game through the team fights.
See, that's going to be the win condition for UCI, is sadly, they have to scale. And no matter where you don't want to scale, and you can get jumped on.
Yeah, just like this, actually. And as we do see Latman going down for a second time in this game, Bloodwater finally going to go down for a first time. Who's going to pick it up? That is JL with the Ignite at the very last second. So for not having any items to start, Pneumatic doing pretty well at 1-0-3.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of kills. Once JL felt he was empowered, he got that Zeke's Convergence, they can clearly take down Latman and Bloodwater without any fret in the world.
No frets given whatsoever here, as we do see bot lane was taken up by UCI. Deskerton able to rotate, pick that one up, but it might just be a consolation prize because so far they are losing 2 turrets in the mid lane. Inner mid lane turret is being taken down. Pneumatic and Gold Jet are both there, and that is quite enough to be able to shove down a turret very quickly. Second turret taken out in the mid lane. 4 turrets altogether to the one of UCI. SFU, when are they going to pull the trigger to beat this one? As they launch themselves back into the top lane, they are not stopping whatsoever. Hextech Ultimatum going to keep Frozen Knight into the confines of that turret. And it's still, he's going to survive to the Cell Division. Youngbin and Camille going down. Captain Nuke, that is. There's Frozen Knight able to be picked off at the last moment. Deskerton trying to pick up another kill here. Gets a double kill onto JL. And now UCI able to turn this around, able to take advantage of the overzealous engage from SFU.
It looked so nice from SFU as well. They got a great Let's Bounce coming in from Frozen Knight, but the problem was he got taken down too quickly. He took so many tower shots in that once Deskerton showed up, took him down really quickly in that Cell Division form. There's nothing really they could do without Frozen Knight, because that was their frontline tank who was zoning away the backline members. Latman and Deskerton never able to step forward because they were so afraid of what Zach could do. And to top it all off, that was a 4v5 in the long run. TechMyth was never a part of that. Didn't have teleport to go for that. He wasn't even able to take down the tower in the bot side of the map for the team. So honestly, it just ended up being a little bit too overzealous from SFU. They tried to go for this play early on, and honestly, it's just going to benefit UCI. You gave 3 kills to Cassidon. He wants to scale up. He's got himself that Archangel Stab, got the Hunting Guys now as well. He was sitting a full item behind TechMyth prior to that.
Oh yeah, I believe I called that Abyssal Mask earlier. Haunting Guys, very good. Yes, that is the one, Haunting Guys. But that is something that we need to really harp on, because you can't be doing those kind of plays in the playoffs. I mean, of course, this is still the regular season. Both these teams are committed to the playoffs. They're in there no matter what. But that sort of play, some of the biggest teams, some of the biggest faults of these teams is where they take advantage. They get a little cocky, and then the enemy team waits for them to make another mistake, and they're able to make enough mistakes to be able to take advantage of. SFU made one mistake. I don't think it's gonna be turned around on them in this sort of game. Although they're not extremely far ahead. They are pretty far ahead as far as kills, especially. But gold wise, they're still in range of being taken advantage of if they make a mistake. So they need to really seal those up, because in playoffs, come playoff times, when the games are a little bit more high caliber, it's going to be harder to recover from those sort of mistakes and justify those sort of tower dives.
Well, the biggest thing for UCI is that their competition is okay with that. They're behind a little bit now, but if they're able to hold on for the 25-30 minute mark, they're going to come online. This Camille is starting to get scary. That Triforce completed. The Ravenous Hydra soon to come. Then you got Caitlyn for Latman. Has one of the Energizer items. Getting that Rapid Fire Cannon next with the Infinity Edge just completed is going to be an absolute monster if you're not taking care of that now.
Yeah, that is something that UCI are waiting for. Deskerton, he's going to scale up quite a bit as well. The Triforce is completed, waiting for that Ravenous Hydra. But Captain Nuke, he is farming as well as he can for having 3 deaths on the top side. He's doing as much as possible to keep himself in this game. And yeah, the longer UCI draw this out, the more powerful they will get.
So we gotta see if Simon Fraser are gonna be able to make the call soon. They gotta start setting up this division around the Baron. We saw what happened in Game 1 when they did that. They got a really overzealous call from UCI trying to see if they can go for the dive in the bot lane. The moment they saw 4 members, SFU, they knew, easy Baron for us. So if you're starting to set this up, maybe you can get a pick onto someone important like Deskerton, Captain Nuke, Latman, and then it's an easy Baron from there. You don't have to worry about Young Bin or Bloodwater.
Yeah, Young Bin, he is having a rough time. So even if he were, actually no, he is ahead in levels right now. So if there were a Baron started, he would have the smite advantage over on his side due to the levels. So that is an interesting take right now. He actually has come back up in farm right now too, at 115 to 81.
He's been taking some of the lane minions, so he's been getting a lot of the experience that way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he kind of has to based on how far he got set behind. 0-4-5 right now, so does need to, almost has 100% kill participation. No, it does have 100% kill participation for his team. So there is that. He is being effective for his team when he stays alive. So he just needs to keep that up. We see a lot of contention coming around this Baron. We saw how powerful it was in game number 1. We talked about how powerful that was with the Baron empowered cannon minion, along with a banner of command, being able to just chunk down turrets very quickly. Not to mention it's outside of firing range or farming range for any champions on the side of UCI. So that is something that UCI does lack a lot of, by the way, is wave clear. But Deskerton, he cannot go in on. That was a solo kill. He's waiting for Young Ben, went in too quickly. I couldn't even finish my thought on that before he died.
Yeah, that was him thinking, hey, I can duel TechMyth, and TechMyth is like, what are you doing? I have an Abyssal Mask. I win this, hands down.
Yeah, and there's the Baron started by Pneumatic as well. So SFU, they've got a pick. They're going to take advantage. It is going down.
Top lane, too.
Yes, it is. It is going down very quickly. Levels are even for the junglers right now, too. The smites are the same. So this is going to be very tense. Who is going to pick it up? Youngbin, he launches his flag in there. He drags. They're waiting for it. They're waiting for him to get the drag. There it is. Here's actually picked up by Youngbin. UCI. They get the Baron. Youngbin is going to go down. Latman, he's being zoned off in the backside by Tickmith, but be it as it may, that is enough to keep UCI alive in this game.
Techmith got baited in by Latman. He was the juicy bait on the string so that they didn't focus on Youngbin, who was the whole time waiting, biding his time. Bloodwater even knew. He's like, oh, I'll make it look like I'm protecting Latman so that you go for him. But in reality, he always positioned himself so there's no way to get onto Youngbin and get the rune prison so that he couldn't go over the wall. This steal will put UCI back into the game decisively as long as they don't make a mistake. They just gotta keep holding on. They will farm up a little bit, like we said. The 25-30 minute mark is when they're going to come online. They're going to be able to complete some of these important items. When they get to that stage of the game, it's going to be a lot more difficult for SFU to actually fight them with that advantage that they had been holding for this entire game.
And that is what I'm talking about. Whenever you make one mistake, that is one less mistake you can make later, and that is the mistake that we may have just saw from SFU. That one mistake in the top lane, giving a little bit of reprieve to UCI, and now they were able to farm up to get Youngbin into levels to where he can smite away the Baron from Frozen Knight, and now the Baron over onto UCI, giving them that extra gold, extra power. That might have been one mistake too many, as Pneumatic going to be chasing down 3 members of UCI with some backup behind them, but we're going to see what these team fights are going to hold, because the gold gap is still about 4K right now. It's not a huge. It's not even all the way full. About 3.5K. It's not huge in favor of SFU, yes, but it's not a massive lead. It's definitely winnable for UCI at this point.
Exactly, and that's the biggest thing. They don't need to get these towers down, they just need to hold. They're holding the door as hard as they can to make sure it can't be closed on them by SFU. And they're getting the items that we were mentioning. It's actually interesting. Captain Nuke is looking like he's going to be prioritizing going for that Titanic Hydra as opposed to going for the Ravenous. So he wants to be more involved in these team fights than we'd honestly imagine a Camille to go for. So with that kind of build, with these items getting completed for UCI, well, for the side of Simon Fraser, they're going to have to be really wary of that. They can't get themselves caught out in a position like that. They need to get control of the vision so that they can possibly get a pick onto Descritin, Youngbin, maybe even Latman if he's a little bit too far out.
Yeah, it is going to be hard to lock down Latman because of his ultimate, but they need to lock down somebody, that is for sure. There are a lot of escapes on the side of SFU. Youngbin, though, let's talk about him. Still kind of building into that offensive hybrid. Has the Black Cleaver. I don't think it's a huge advantage over onto the side of UCI, but man, he's still in a rough position. He stole the Baron. He got the Baron for his team. They're not able to use it to take any turrets, like you said. They just need to wait. But at the same time, Youngbin still in that rough situation where does he engage or does he just back off and peel?
And this is going to be the second Mountain Drake picked up for Simon Fraser. We thought they were able to take down these objectives before. It's going to be so much quicker. And that's honestly what they need at this point. They need to be able to take down these towers really effectively and really quickly. I'd like to see if JL is going to prioritize going for that Ban of Command soon. Make it a little bit more difficult for Descritin to go for this 1-3-1 that he's clearly trying to perform with Captain Nuke and with himself in these side lanes. So if they're getting the Banner Command for JL, it will make it that much harder for Descritin to actually clear out the wave and probably stop the 1-3-1 attempt from UCI.
Yeah, 1-3-1 attempt is going to be hard because, again, they don't really have any wave clear on the side of UCI. I mean, they have Force Pulse, but you have to kind of get the minion range for that. I think Baron is off now for UCI, so there's no big threat of towers taken. SFU have weathered that. They've been cautious engaging anywhere right now. There's been almost no kills in the last few minutes here, 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
That's what UCI want. They don't want to get themselves caught out. They don't want to fight. They don't care about the game stalling out. That's perfectly fine for them. They're getting more items. They're getting... Latman completed his trifecta of power, getting that rapid fire cannon, static shiv, infinity edge for Caitlyn. She's going to be so devastating in these team fights. And this is something we haven't been able to see as Latman in these team fights. He's been completely zoned away or killed off really quickly in these fights. But he's going to be that much scarier. You see these crits that were raining down onto the red buff. They're going to be that much scarier onto Pneumatic or Techmith if they get a little bit too greedy trying to go for him.
Yeah, we do see a lot of the double attack speed items for Caitlyn's these days due to that that headshot being able to proc a lot faster, and that is exactly what they need in team fights. Something that they are building up to, as we see Youngbin. I think he's now finally going to decide on tankiness. He got the Black Cleaver. He's now building straight tanky, it looks like, which I think that's a good idea. His rune is not going to help him at all. I don't think he's going to get too many triple auto attacks on a single individual, but be it as it may, he is going to build up into that tankiness that his team sorely needs. Right now, they only have Blood Water, and he has been doing a good job tanking up as much as possible, but it has not been enough thus far. But again, yeah, UCI, they're playing the way they want, and SFU, I feel like they're kind of letting them. I feel like it's their trigger to pull here. They've had the gun pointed for a while, but they're just not pulling it.
Flashbacks of what happened when they went for that dive on the tier 2 in the top lane. They don't want to give pressure back to UCI. Plus, when the Baron got stolen away, they felt so hesitant that if they do anything, it's going to throw it. So now, even look at how they're playing. They're trying to get as much control of the vision, because before, they let that fall a little bit, then tried to go for the Baron. You never do that. You need to make sure that you're maintaining perfect vision control, so Youngbin never has a way into the map. He can't even get into that Baron pit, because JL jumps on him the moment he tries to go for it, gets the quickness so he can never smite it down, and makes it that much easier for Frozen Knight to smite and get the secure.
Yeah, very much so. JL is the big CC blockchain if they don't, if they do not have Frozen Knight to launch themselves into the enemy side here. But we see all this this vision being taken advantage of here. We see this wards being placed and wards being cleared. This is pivotal right now, because with the Tracker's Knife being taken out, that means every ward is just that much more precious. We see a lot of pink wards or control wards going down. Even Bloodwater, once he's used his control ward, he's going back immediately, picking up another one because he knows there's more wards to be taken out here. So this is a huge chess match being played right now. 3 dragons on the side of SFU, so they do have that late game security with the Elder Drake if they're able to pick it up.
Youngbin, he's got a little bit far out. He was trying to see if he can proxy the wave a bit, because they're trying to see if they can get some wave management. The 1-3-1 has not been working out for UCI as much as they would have liked, because Deskgradian keeps getting shoved out by Techman, who can clear the wave a lot faster than a Cassidy. And same in the bot lane. Golden Jet has a lot better prioritization into the minions than Captain Nuke, but they're going to go for the Baron anyways.
It's going down a lot faster this time around, but we do see a teleport coming in. That is going to be Goldjet along with Captain Nuke. They're on the backside. There's Goldjet trying to zone everyone out. That is the Guardian Angels being procced by Goldjet, and that was a big let's bounce pneumatic now. He has all of the power in the world here, and let's keep in mind that Baron did go over to SFU. They're taking full advantage of it now. Double kill for Tickmith. That is a 3 for 1 right now over in the favor of SFU. That's exactly what they've been looking for.
And that's exactly why you get vision control before you go for this play. They even had the wave management in the bot lane. They made sure to use Golden Jet to shove that wave so it's going to go for them eventually. But then they saw that they easily didn't have to worry about Youngbin, who was trying to go for the proxy. So they're like, oh, he has to go back. He needs to get himself into his base and then walk here. This is an easy Baron for us, and we could possibly win off of that.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to CC everyone to try to be able to take out the kill here. Yeah, Captain Nuke goes down. Frozen Knight picking up that one. Frozen Knight on his Zac, by the way. 6-1-11. Doing incredible. That is the first Nexus turret going down. That is the second Nexus turret going down. That is game number 2 in this best of 3, which means that best of 3 series going over to Simon Fraser University.
Simon Fraser, the underdog heroes of college LOL. Last year, they were able to upset both UBC and UCI, but here again, they get the nice 2-0 upset over what was deemed the strongest team in the Western Conference.
Yeah, very much so. That was a great display of power in the west side, and really shows where people are standing right now, or where teams are standing. Like I said, there's a lot of hype behind UCI. We haven't had the pleasure of broadcasting a game from SFU this entire season. Very glad we did, because now we see what has been behind the door, behind that closed door. It's a big power stroke, and that is in Simon Fraser. They are looking to repeat their Western Conference championship like last year.
Yeah, the Kings of last year definitely showing up huge this year, and it's beautiful to see a team try to make sure that they reclaim their throne, their title of Western Conference champions. And if they play like this throughout college level, but as we get into the playoffs, like I said, both teams have already been clinched into the playoffs. But if they continue that kind of performance, 2-0ing UCI, this is the team to look out for. Forget UCI. Let's go for Simon Fraser, man. Hype train all the way.
Yeah, they are arguably the best team in Canada at the moment, and arguably, obviously, they might be the best team in the West right now. But it used to be a big power struggle between UBC, SFU, and Toronto University. And Toronto University, their team got drafted, I believe, to FlyQuest. I think that FlyQuest Academy, I think it was. A lot of their team.
The bot lane, I know for sure.
Yeah, bot lane
JJ's
along
over there.
Yeah, along with Invert, their coach, which
Yes.
is also a huge factor in that entirety. In that entire team. But also UBC, they've been going through some changes as well. SFU, the only one that truly stayed the same besides that mid lane Tickmith, and we see that is not a detriment to them whatsoever.
Not at all. He did a great job with it to try to get control of mid lane, and it really utilized what they wanted to go for. They needed the shoving mid lane. They kept shoving him out. They got Tekmith on to Talia in game 1, Rise into game 2, all because they wanted to be able to shove out Deskerton and then use Frozen Knight to go for invades into Youngbin, because they knew that was the point of weakness for UCI, is if Youngbin gets behind, they don't have this guy who just carries the team, regardless of who he's on. I recall, what was it, 2 weeks ago? No, last week, he played a full damage Skarner and was able to go completely ham on that because nobody was able to shut him down. He got the kills needed in the early game. He was able to consistently just scale up, go ham after ham, kill after kill on that. This time, he was never able to get that early kill. He was never able to get the snowball because Frozen Knight had his number and consistently made sure to put him down.
Yeah, SFU as entirety had the entirety of UCI scouted out. So that is going to be the last game for those two teams. SFU, they are advancing into the playoffs undefeated with the highest seed, or the highest seed for them now. That is going to be UCI going in at 5-1. Tomorrow we have another 5-0 team going against each other. This time in Columbia College versus Maryville University, the current reigning champions of Riot's Collegiate League of Legends tournament. That is in the North Conference, and that will be decided tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I got the time, and actually I think I'll be casting that one. So I'll look forward to seeing all you there. That is going to be the end of the broadcast today. My name is Joshua Fekes Quest. Thank you very much, Alex. Mad Magical. Shoot,
man, I had an interesting last
What
name.
is your last name, bruh?
It's Wielden. Wielden.
I know
like
that.
Wheels.
Wielden.
The wheels on the bus go round and round.
Alex, Mad Magical Wielden. Thank you, man. I'm so sorry about that.
Don't worry about that.
Either way, go follow him on Twitter. Don't follow me on Twitter. Follow him on Twitter at Mad Magical. He's worth it. And I'm sorry for butchering your name. Wow.
It's okay. It's okay. I completely forgive you. It's our first time casting together.
It is.
We finally got to do it. I'm so happy that we did.
I was nervous.
Same here. But before we go, let's give some shout outs to our sponsors. Make sure to follow us over on Twitter if you haven't already at C-Star League or CSL LOL. You can also make sure to go on YouTube so you can catch all the VODs of the games that were played today. You can even keep up with the quad. You can keep up with Ward Up so that you can watch all of these in the future if you do choose to do that. Also, let's give a shout out to Twitch, one of the biggest streaming platforms in North America, who have consistently helped out College League of Legends for some time now, and it's amazing to be able to broadcast these games to you guys live whenever they get played on Twitch.
Yeah, and that will be it for us. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow, same time. Same place, rather. 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That was the same time as the game earlier today for Columbia College versus Maryville University. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
She's such a misfit. try to further